Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of y'all and peace out to the rest of you. So this here is the first story to come in for story time. And this was sent by someone who would like to remain anonymous. And from what I read, it sounds like he knows me, actually. I wouldn't be shocked if he did. So I'm going to read it to you, and then I'm going to cover a particular point in it. So I'm starting now. What up, Black? I hope this finds you well. I honestly think being first is worth the donation I sent you. I hope this helps someone out there. I'm a black man in his early 20s living in your home region, America's Gulf Coast, and believe it or not, I actually know some of your people. We've met before and spoken. Your identity is safe with me, though, because mine is safe with you, and plus your parents are great people and wouldn't deserve to be outed in their retirement. Your kids are the best behaved, too. God bless them. So yesterday, I was at home with my mom, my sister, and her friend in the living room. Dad is in the picture, but he lives far away for his job, and I can see why, considering what this region was even before I was born. I told him about this, too, by the way. So my sister, whom we'll refer to as Bianca, and her friend, whom we'll call Keisha because I have no imagination, had a conversation about Roe versus Wade right in front of me. They agreed that some people just need to be aborted and shouldn't be born. They didn't state any criteria to determine which embryo should be aborted while all of them are innocent and haven't done anything. That was scary to hear from them. Knowing my sister has drunk the far left liberal Kool-Aid and her friend, I doubt they had any girls in mind when they said this. Keisha told Bianca that her dad wanted her mom to carry Keisha to term, but then split later on and wasn't there for them anymore. Now, I don't think Keisha wishes she had been aborted, but rather her dad. I fear that they thought only some boys need to be aborted. As you say, I hope I'm wrong. It gets worse though. After this conversation, they changed the subject. Keisha wants to get rid of her current boyfriend. He's too affectionate for her. She had the unmitigated gall to say this within earshot of my mom, too. She said she wants to date this local rapper who already has a girlfriend, by the way. My mom pointed at me and told her that's why I don't want to mess with any of these girls in our city. What my mom and sister don't know is that I don't want Western women at all. These wicked witches of the West, as you call them. What are the chances that I'll meet a good one and we'll like each other? What are the chances she'll even want a man that's similar to her? See, Keisha is very polite and respectful to me, and I'm the same with her. And I get to see how she is in other areas of her life. It's only with men she's this toxic from what I can see. Bianca's moving tomorrow to Alabama, and honestly, I'm okay with her moving so that these ideas aren't in the house living with us. That's fine with me. That means Keisha won't be here unless Bianca's just visiting. Thing is, Keisha is the same age as my sister. They're about 26 and 27. That should be old enough to know better, but they don't, at least not Keisha. Black men who want a legacy must leave the West because we can't wait for these ladies to grow up. And we can't even assume that otherwise good women want guys that don't have something seriously wrong with them. A lot of the good women are like Keisha. I live with moms, and I understand that no woman owes me anything, nor the reverse. But if a man that lives with his girlfriend or even his wife is better in these women's eyes, then frankly, they're damaged. And if all of the women think the same way, then all of the women are damaged. At some point, everybody doing something is no longer an excuse to do it. And this is something that women are loudly telling men, but not heeding themselves. Whatever the rest of the women do, every individual woman wants to get away with. Whatever men see another man get away with, he has no right to demand that he gets away with it. I can see what you mean by them insisting on meeting no standards while insisting that we meet really high standards. There is no future here with that kind of dynamic. Thanks for reading this, and I look forward to hearing what you say in response. All right, so Anonymous, Keisha said that her dad wanted her mom to carry her to term and deliver her. So he wanted to have Keisha. I don't know this man. You probably didn't meet him either. Hell, your sister, you said her name is Bianca, I think. I don't think Bianca has ever met Keisha's biological father. Keisha is going to have to get her dad's side of the story. That's the only fair and moral advice I can give her. Maybe he did split. Maybe he didn't. It could be that he wanted to be a dad and that mom drove him away. You see, you know the story of Serena and Venus Williams, and this lady came out, as a matter of fact, I think in the Shreveport area where Richard started his life, and said he just walked out one day. And I'll be honest, men that walk out, walk out. Men don't just walk out on one and stick with the other, especially when kids are concerned. It leads me to think that possibly she drove him off, but to say this with any certainty, I'd have to know him or her. I don't. I just wanted to tell you that the thing you may have to do is that you have to go ahead and get both sides of the story. Or she has to get them. And I don't know if you're in a position to advise her to do so or not, but the other thing too is, and I can tell you this from experience, you're in your early 20s and I'm in my middle 40s, and I can promise you that they don't outgrow this. What Keisha wants, they never outgrow. She's looking for validation from men that seem to be the least likely to validate anybody. Rappers, guys with girlfriends. Seems like a hypercompensation for something, maybe for the dad and his affection. But I've seen women that grew up with their dads and they had the same problems. They just are ruined in that environment. So yeah, Anonymous, they're not going to outgrow this. 26, 27, they're going to get into their 30s. And what I want you to keep in mind is that when they start to close in on 35, that's when they start to change. And even then, if they can get the man, get the baby, and get the bag, they will go right back to being the ratchets they were previously. I hope this helps. And thank you for sending this. As always, black heart, black mind, blackout. Assalamu alaikum, a black heterosexual non-select male power just because they don't like it, a black patriarch until extinction or judgment day.